So by way of showing you how to put these on, they're all on essentially. I'm going to use this one, which goes in the very front, and you can see that tab that I put. It's green and brown right now in color, but all this does, and all the other panels are exactly the same. That's why I didn't show them to you. And this one's interesting. And it rolls right around like this, and you go to the other side. Now that piece of sandwich bread that's cut out there is for the anchor. So what they do, which is kind of cool, is you have this inner piece here that's going to wrap around and glue to itself on that white tab piece, and you make this little pocket. And that hole there, that's where the part of the anchor is going to go in when it's time. This is like doing, if you build a paper model and you make landing gear wells, this is what this is kind of like. So I'm going to glue this together, and then I will glue it to the inside of that piece of formed paper that's going to be for the hull part. And then there's a piece on the skeleton part on the inside that is already cut out, and that will fit in just perfectly. So all I'm doing here is making sure I line that up the top part of the sandwich, and I just kind of get it started, and I squeeze it, and that's going to give you some nice gluing ability there. And then once that's together, excuse me, then I will work on gluing the back part to it. But first you just got to get this piece in the right location. It's got to be, if you just match it up like I did there on the white part where the tab is, it should be just perfect. And you can see the shape is kind of an odd shape, but it's going to form a pocket where you'll end up putting the anchor. Excuse me. Yeah, there's the hole the anchor goes into. And see, that piece has to be glued to the other part. So we'll put a little bit of glue. And this glue, again, as we always say, dries clear within reason. And so that should be fine. So that just follows the contour that's already in the other piece. And basically that's it. And you could, I suppose, excuse me, geez, put it in first, but that would be confusing. See, there's that notch that's cut out. I widened it a little bit to make sure I had space, but it's going to fit right in that notch, and it'll look great. So what I do was I'm going to take this piece now, and I've colored the edges of that. I'm going to take this piece and glue the edges, and I'm going to just put it right in like so. And that gives me a deep pocket. Gosh, it looks like a piece of bread. This is kind of cute. So all I'm going to do is put some glue around the outside edge, and you don't have to spare too much. You can be a little messy, because all you're going to do is have that piece glue on the inside, and just don't want any gaps. And because it's located perfectly well, you won't have to worry about it hitting the wrong part on the skeleton on the interior. It's going to fit perfectly. The hardest part is just to make sure you get it so that it's nice and even. And I'm assuming this is the way it goes because I think that that hole is there for the tip of the anchor, which will fit up into there. And the anchor I haven't made yet. We'll wait to make that a little bit later. But that's basically all there is to that. And now I'll put a little bit around the edge to make sure. Because I think part of it's coming undone a little bit. But that's it. I put a little bit around those edges, but I have to be careful. You don't want to put globs on there because it won't fit in the cutout. So I'm just sort of making sure it's okay. As long as you put some pressure on it and it's glued, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be just fine. So that is the little recess for the anchor. And see, there's a little bit of glue in there, but that will also, trying to get some of it off, but that will dry and you won't even know it's in there. So ultimately the anchor will go in that hole, And I think I'm trying to show you here what the anchor looks like. The anchor I'm going to put on a little piece of leftover cardboard. So it's got a little backing right there is what the anchor looks like. And that's just going to slide right up in there. Yep, that's going to fit, I hope, right into that hole, or dang close. Okay? So, really mess up, we can actually cut some stuff apart and everything. But now, by way of showing you this piece, this is the way all of these pieces were put onto the body. Again, the biggest thing was putting tabs on there. You see, I still have to put tabs on the front pieces, but I'm lining up where the color demarcation is first, making sure everything is up against, and you can see the piece of paper was kind of pre-formed, so I rolled it a little bit with a paintbrush, making sure it's flush to the deck, making sure I don't have much daylight showing through, and that's it. Okay, so I got it all planked. It's not as beautiful as I wanted it to be, but it's planked. I learned a lot along the way. You do need those little extra gussets on either side. That really helps you. But I think the next time I'll do what someone suggested, which is take this thing and put foam in between the formers, sand them down. I think it'll work much better. But what I'm doing now is working on the keels. So here's a keel, and that's going in, I hope, pretty well. It seems straight. It seems pretty good. And I want to show you what I'm doing to do it a little differently than the kit calls for. So here's the other keel. And what I've done is take a little piece of balsa wood and glued it the thickness of the keel right down at the base. And then I'm folding these pieces over to make the shape that you need, and then we'll stick it on the other part. This part is in the front, and this part needs to be curled over. So let me change lenses, and we'll see if I can show putting this together. But putting that piece of wood down there in the base does seem to help a lot, makes it more stable and sturdy. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so here's this piece. And all I'm going to do is sort of, I've already got these pieces so they would bend. So I did that already, which is just fine. So I'm going to put a smidgen of glue along here on either side so that I've got some glue to sort of attach each edge. Doesn't have to be perfect because this thing's gonna be all glued in just a second anyway. So now, it doesn't go all the way up because there's this curved piece that rolls back this way. I'm just gonna sort of squeeze this and hope that I'm kind of getting it to glue onto that piece of wood. It's a piece of 1/16 sheet, I believe. And all I'm trying to do is make it so that it is based on the end, looks kind of square. And if I do that, I'm hoping that then this will fit right under the keel, or this is the keel, right under the hull. Okay, and I think it'll work fine. This piece now has to be attached. The end here has to be attached. And so let's see if we can do that carefully. Wow, that's a mess. So much for being careful. See if we can kind of finesse it in. Because this is curved all the way up here and follows that curved line. And wow, what a mess I'm making. So let's just see if I can sort of make this look a little better. Just kind of pinching it getting it started. Actually, doesn't look so bad. It just has to be a contour. And we're going to be touching up these things with paint anyway, I fear. Because there's a few things on here that look okay, but they could be better. Especially on the keel down there. There's some things that I didn't do, or not the keel, but the whole body, the whole stupid hull. I mean, it worked. It looks like a hull. It looks okay, but there are definitely problems with it, and I don't know, what the best way to do it really is. But we're learning here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go ahead and try to glue this to the bottom of the ship. Maybe let's take this and just sort of test fit it up here. It's going to be okay, and it actually goes really well. I mean, it's gonna look good. So what I'm going to do is glue this. Put some glue on here. I don't know a better way to do it. If there's a better way to, because it's just all this is it's for show. It isn't really glued on. It's not really structural in any way. With my little piece of balsa wood, I think that's nice. I think it makes it a little bit better. But in terms of how this thing actually glues to the bottom, I'm not really sure how they want you to do that other than do what I'm doing here, which is kind of lame, but hopefully we're going to stick this on there, and then we're going to come back and we're going to kind of we can come back and sort of play with it. This part up here. See, and those should be sort of squeezed together like so. And I think what I will do is not worry too much about that gap that's down there. I'll kind of do this. I'll take a little Q-tip, and then we'll run it along here and sort of do that. And I think what I'll do is come back once it's kind of dry, because it'll dry quick. And I think I can fill in a lot of this with that white glue and make it like it's a gap filler, and just go through with my finger or a wet brush and just sort of fill in the edges. So I'm saying that's not so bad. I mean, I've got some issue here, but it's not terrible. I'm going to take a look off camera, make sure the keel is straight, which it is. So it's straight vertical like that. So overall, once I go in here and spread some glue like I did it back here, I put some glue back here, and then I smeared it out, and it's drying, and it's going to look just fine. This side didn't really need it. This looked pretty good. But I'm going to do that, and plus when you look at it like this, you can hardly see anything anyway. It just looks like there's the keel. And there's where my anchor is going to go. That turned out really well. So anyway, there's, keel fit, and I think that's going to look pretty good. Especially since you don't hold the model upside down and look at it continuously. It's very much, it isn't. That's not what it's for. But I am going to have to do some touch up here and there. You can see white showing through. And again, here you can see gaps, but I'm going to fill those in with glue, and I think it's going to be okay. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's starting to look like a real submarine. And then we'll start putting all of the propellers and stuff back here, and going here in shafts, and then rudders and things. The rudder goes back here, and then there's dive planes, forward and rear dive planes, and then of course our anchor is going to go in there. So, and then we start putting on some top pieces. It's going to look really good. Oh, and there's two, where this line is, there's two stabilizers that run all around the length of the hull, and they're going to be fine. You can see right here I didn't match up well, but I'm not too worried. It'll still look okay once it's all together. But anyway, let's let this dry and then we'll come back. But I think that looks pretty good.